Hey, let's look at the IPMAT Indore paper pattern and the important topics in each section. So if we talk about the paper pattern, then there are three sections. The first one is quantitative ability short answer section. The next is quantitative ability MCQ and the third is verbal ability section. Now in quantitative ability short answer section, you have 15 questions to be attempted in 40 minutes. Every question is of 4 marks, so total 60 marks you can have for that section. The next is QA MCQ section. There are 30 questions to be attempted in 40 minutes. Each question is plus 4 marks. Here you have a negative marking. So if you go wrong, you get -1, and if you go right, you get +4. There are no negative marking in the QA short answer section. And for verbal ability, again, there are 40 minutes, but here you have 45 questions to be attempted. So marking scheme, as we discussed, +4 for every correct, -1 for every incorrect, and no negative marking for QA short answer section. The order of section is fixed. You have to attempt the paper in this order. First is QA short answer, followed by QA MCQ, followed by verbal ability. You cannot switch the order depending upon your priority. Then there is a sectional cutoff. So there is no concept of overall cutoff here. There is a concept of sectional cutoff. If you clear the sectional cutoff, each cutoff of each of the following 3 sections, then you get the next round call, that is a call for interview round. As we discussed, there is a sectional time limit. Now moving on to quantitative ability. So for both, whether it is short answer or it is MCQ, most of the question types remains the same, except there is a data interpretation question which is being tested in only MCQ section, and you do not have a data interpretation question in a short answer section. So if you look at the topic which are there on my left side, these topics will help you to clear the sectional cutoff. Okay, so questions on arithmetic such as simple interest, compound interest, profit and loss, ratio proportion, averages and mixture, time, speed, distance and time and work, questions on numbers, linear and quadratic equation, and data interpretation, analogical reasoning question. This will help you to clear the sectional cutoff. Okay, whether it is a short answer section or MCQ section, you will be able to. So in a short answer question, out of this topic, you will at least have 4 to 5 odd questions in short answer section. And if I talk about the MCQ section, then there will be 5 questions on data interpretation and logical reasoning, and somewhere around 5 to 7 odd questions from the other topics as well. So close to around 10 to 12 questions from the topics that we have on the left side. So if you go all correct, then you will be able to clear the sectional cutoff of short answer and MCQ with the help of this topic. Now the remaining topics which are there on the right side, this will help you to boost your overall score. Because in IPMAT Indore, we always keep on saying that just clearing the sectional cutoff will, you will not have great chance of converting the final call. Because a lot of students would score very high marks in one of the other section. So for example, if I talk about 2023 IPMAT Indore, then in 2023 IPMAT Indore, the short answer section cutoff was 12 mark. The MCQ cutoff was 39. So 39 and 12 is 51. And verbal ability cutoff was 125. So 125 and 51 is 176 marks. So if you simply score 176 marks, your chances will be very less, or I would say maybe maybe less than even 1% chance, I would say that. Okay, because there are students who score 240 and 230s and 220s, more than 240s also. There are students who score more than 240. And we know that there is a very high weightage given to the aptitude test as compared to the personal interview round. So higher you score in the aptitude test, better are your chances for the final conversion. And hence you need to also master the topic which are given on the right side, such as matrices and determinant, sequence and series, functions, inequalities and graphs, permutation and combination, coordinate geometry, trigonometry, probability, binomial theorem, modulus and logarithm. This topic will help you to boost your overall score. Okay, so these are the topics that you should be focusing on if you're preparing for an IPMAT Indore quantitative ability section. Now let's move on to the next section, that is verbal ability. Now if you look at this 4 question type, which is grammar, error detection, vocabulary, reading comprehension, and para completion. These 4 areas are something which students generally score very good here. The accuracy here is 90-95%. Okay, so this is obviously high scoring, but at the same time, there are 3 areas: phrasal verb, idioms, and para jumble. This is something that students need to focus more on, improve their accuracy. Para jumble generally is easy question, but unlike other exams, here in IPMAT Indore, you do not have options, which means you have to type in the correct sequence of the sequence of the answer, basically. So if the answer is 42315, you have to type in 42315. You cannot eliminate the options here in the parajumble questions, unlike other exams. Also, the parajumble question being a theta or a short answer type in category question, there are negative marking here. And hence, it becomes slightly more important to focus more on and ensure that you don't attract those negative marking. And phrasal verb and idioms is something, if you know the meaning, you know the meaning. If you don't know the meaning, you don't know the meaning. I mean, you have to skip those questions. And hence, we have given you a vocabulary book, which will have vocabulary, which has phrasal verb, and it also has idioms. There are more than thousands of phrasal verb and idioms. You do not need to know everything. Just do whatever we have given it to you. Make sure that you go through that book at least twice, if not thrice. More the merrier, right? So make sure that your accuracy, so there will be 15 questions on phrasal verb, idioms, and parajumble put together. If you look at last year's cutoff, that is 2023 IPMAT Indore cutoff, the cutoff was 125 marks, which means getting 33 correct. So out of 45, if you leave these 15 questions, you will be at only 30 questions. So you will not be able to clear the cutoff even if you have 100% accuracy in the remaining questions. And hence, it becomes important to get at least 8 to 10 correct from phrasal verb, idioms, and parajumble, considering you will do couple of mistakes in the question type which are there on the left side. Thank you, everyone.